Perhaps one of the most understated women of her era, and perhaps of all time, was Lady Blanche Arundell, Baroness Arundell of Wardour. An English noblewoman, her defence of Wardour Castle during the English Civil War holds significant historical importance. With just 25 men and her household staff, Blanche stood firm against an overwhelming force of 1,300 men, an astonishing feat that not only continues to resonate through history, but also had a significant impact on the course of the English Civil War. Her unwavering determination and resilience in the face of such daunting odds is a testament to her extraordinary character. Blanche Somerset was born in 1583 or 1584, the daughter of Edward Somerset, the 4th Earl of Worcester, and Lady Elizabeth Hastings. Her family was deeply entrenched in the aristocracy, and she grew up surrounded by nobility. In 1600 she took part in a grand masque held at the wedding of Anne Russell and Henry Somerset, 1st Marquess of Worcester. Alongside noble women such as Mary Fitton, Lady Doherty and Elizabeth Southwell, Blanche wore a spectacular costume. Skirts made from silver cloth, intricately embroidered waistcoats adorned with coloured silks, and mantles of carnation taffeta. Their hair worn loose yet carefully styled reflected the event's grandeur and the participants' high status. On May 11, 1607, Blanche married Thomas Arundell, the 2nd Baron Arundell of Wardour. Thomas was the son of the 1st Baron Arundell, also named Thomas, and Lady Mary Wriothesley. The Arundells were a well-known Catholic family, and their strong faith frequently brought them into conflict with the Protestant establishment. Despite this, Blanche and Thomas enjoyed positions of influence at the royal court. Blanche herself served as a lady-in-waiting to Anne of Denmark, the Queen Consort to King James I. One notable event recorded by John Finney in December 1617 described how Blanche, along with other court ladies, greeted Isabelle Brulard, the wife of the French ambassador, upon her visit to Denmark House. The meeting was formal, underscoring Blanche's important role in court. As tensions between King Charles I and Parliament mounted, civil war loomed on the horizon. When war finally broke out, Blanche's husband Thomas raised a regiment of horsemen to support the royalist cause. He led them into battle at Stratton in Cornwall on May 16, 1643, where he fought bravely. However, he sustained grave injuries and died 3 days later. His death marked a tragic turning point for Blanche and her family, but it also set the stage for their most heroic act, the defence of Wardour Castle. While her husband was away at war, Lady Blanche Arundell was left to manage Wardour Castle, situated in Wiltshire. The castle was a key royalist stronghold and a tempting target for parliamentary forces. On May 2, 1643, a parliamentarian force led by Sir Edward Hungerford and Colonel Edmund Ludlow arrived at the gates of the castle, demanding its surrender. At the time, Blanche was around 60 years old and was in the castle with her daughter-in-law, Cicely, her 3 young grandchildren and a small household staff, but Blanche refused to yield despite being heavily outnumbered with only 25 capable defenders in the castle. The parliamentarian forces, numbering around 1,300, vastly outmatched the defenders of Wardour Castle. Realising the difficulty of the task ahead, Hungerford summoned reinforcements from Somerset under Colonel William Strode. Together, the combined forces laid siege to the castle, but Lady Blanche remained resolute. She declared that she understood her duty to her absent husband and was determined to follow his orders to hold the castle at all costs. For 6 harrowing days, Blanche and her defenders fought off the besieging forces, enduring hunger, sleeplessness and the constant threat of attack. Some accounts, such as those from royalist writer Bruno Reeves, described the defenders as so worn down by hunger and sleeplessness that they could barely leave food to their mouths. This paints a vivid picture of the personal sacrifices Lady Blanche made during the siege, further highlighting her resilience and determination. On May the 8th, the Parliamentarian forces were determined to break the stalemate. They used barrels of gunpowder to blow a hole in the castle's walls, exploiting a weak point used for waste disposal. With overwhelming force and a breached wall, Lady Blanche still refused to surrender. The Parliamentarians offered terms of surrender that promised protection for the women and children, but not for the men inside the castle. Reluctantly, Blanche was forced to relent after the invading force threatened to undermine the walls further and launch fireballs into the castle. Despite agreeing to terms that should have offered some measure of protection, the Parliamentarians then broke their word. After taking control of the castle, they ransacked it, causing around £100,000 worth of damage. Looted goods were sold off cheaply, while more valuable items were taken to Shaftesbury. Lady Blanche, her family and her remaining servants were taken prisoner and held in Shaftesbury before being moved to Dorchester. During this time, her grandchildren were also held captive. Blanche was eventually released, but her imprisonment was a bitter blow. During her time in captivity, she learned that her husband had died from his wounds sustained at the Battle of Stratton. The betrayal she faced after the surrender is a stark reminder of the injustices of war, leaving a bitter taste in the mouth of history. Blanche's health, already fragile, worsened. She sought refuge with the Marquess of Hertford and after a long illness passed away in Winchester in 1649. She was buried in Tisbury and her will, dated September the 28th, 1649, was probated in November of that same year. Though her life had come to a close, her bravery during the siege of Wardour Castle ensured that her legacy would endure. Her actions in the face of overwhelming odds left an indelible mark on history, inspiring generations to come and shaping the portrayal of women's roles in historical conflicts. Later, in 1643, Blanche's son, Henry Arundell, led a royalist force to retake Wardour Castle, and by November his forces had surrounded the castle, laying siege to the Parliamentarian garrison within. The siege dragged on for months as the Parliamentarians had ample supplies. Ultimately, the Royalists used explosives to breach the walls, forcing the Parliamentarians to surrender. However, the damage to the castle was so extensive that it became uninhabitable. The Arundell family would later build a new Wardour Castle nearby, but the original castle would forever be remembered for the bravery of its defenders. The Arundell family's Catholic faith had long put them at odds with the Protestant monarchy. The first Baron, Thomas Arundell, had been repeatedly arrested and imprisoned for his Catholic zeal. He even accepted a title from the Holy Roman Empire in 1595, further arousing suspicion. Although he was not directly involved in the gunpowder plot of 1605, his association with Catholic dissidents stirred controversy. His son, the second Baron and Blanche's husband, inherited both his father's title and his loyalty to the Catholic faith, which led to further tensions during the reign of King Charles I. Lady Blanche's defence of Wardour Castle became a powerful symbol of royalist propaganda. A broadside newspaper published the headline, "Wardour Castle defended by a lady," highlighting her bravery and contrasting it with the cruelty of the Parliamentarians. Her story became a model of loyalty and fortitude, standing as an example of the strength of women even in the face of overwhelming odds. However, Lady Blanche was not alone in her courage. Throughout the English Civil War, women played pivotal roles, defending homes, acting as spies, and even taking up arms. Many of their contributions went unrecognised, but Blanche Arundell's story gained renewed attention over time. In the 19th century, her tale was rediscovered as a symbol of feminine bravery and patriotic loyalty. Richard Cattermole's Great Civil War of Charles I and the Parliament of 1841 featured a striking illustration of Blanche boldly leading the defence of her castle, standing defiantly amidst enemy fire with a shattered window behind her. Queen Victoria received her mother's copy of the book as a Christmas gift, ensuring that Lady Blanche's story would be passed down through generations. In the end, Lady Blanche Arundel's bravery and unwavering commitment to her cause immortalised her as a heroine in the annals of history. Her defence of Wardour Castle, even in the face of certain defeat, remains a powerful testament to courage, loyalty and the enduring strength of women in times of crisis. If you loved our video on Blanche Arundell, you won't want to miss this next one. Click on the screen now to explore the untold stories and hidden secrets of another fascinating figure with a story to tell. Get ready to uncover more historical gems and intriguing royal tales. Your next adventure in history starts right here.